You can't write checks if you don't have the money in the bank. So they had a check that bounced. And therefore, once that check bounced, you're accumulating late fee.
No.
You don't know the filing service and statutory attorney fee? You don't know late fees? Come on. Ma'am, so you think you owe zero?
Absolutely. And I can prove it.
Good. Doesn't mean you're on time, though. You're saying you made all your payments on time. You didn't make one of them on time. I want you to stop interrupting me. That's what I want.
In housing court, the dispute is not always about unpaid rent alone. Sometimes it is about how one missed payment can trigger fees, penalties, and added costs that quickly spiral into something much larger. Today, in Judge Michael McNally's court, a tenant says the charges snowballed out of control, turning a single financial problem into a much bigger fight over what was really owed.
Would you just double check on that? Now we call it South Point Square versus Shelley Moore. 2601543. Is Shelley Moore here? Come on up here, ma'am. Did you listen to the video?
Yes.
Come on up here to the podium, please, and tell me your name. All right. Good morning, Ms. Schoen. Your appearance?
Good morning, Your Honor. Marlena Schoen for the plaintiff, P69505. I'm appearing for the attorneys of record.
Ma'am, did you listen to and understand the rights on the video? Do you wish to apply for funding or talk to a lawyer?
Countersue and also do a jury trial against them. I'm not a lawyer. One, I do not owe this, and I've reached out to them repeatedly. I have proof of that. They are targeting and harassing me and threatening.
Slow down. Just
Okay,
slow down.
I work midnight, so I'm really tired.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Okay.
I have to believe there's a triable issue. I'll be glad to talk to you here.
Okay.
Ms. Schoen, why don't you tell me what the total amount is that's due on this?
$175 is sued.
Hang on a second. Just,
I'm
talking
happy
her.
to, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to, Your Honor. So just to make a statement first, we have a payment of $554 that we're holding because it's a partial payment. And the co-op does not accept partial payments. So the total amount, $552 in arrears, $225 in late fees, and that includes also a NSF check fee, and then $179.04 in our court costs, for a total of $956.04.
Is that less
Moore,
the 575?
Your Honor, once the 554 is applied, so we don't apply with, and this is a co-op, they don't apply partial payments. So if a partial payment is made, they'll hold the payment, but they don't apply it. So once the 554 is subtracted, then she will owe approximately $400.
40204.
402. So, Your Honor, just to be clear, there was an NSF fee that took place in October. It was October 17th. 552 was returned for insufficient funds. There was a $25 fee that was assessed and a $50 late fee. Because the $25 fee and the $50 late fee were never paid, she's then had late fees every month. So so
let me stop
balance...
you a second. Let me stop you. Ms. Moore.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, wait a minute. I want you to just take a step back a second. They had to file a lawsuit. They are therefore entitled by law to their court costs and their statutory attorney fee, which amounts to $179.04. They're also entitled to late fees. How much do you cap your late fees at?
Your Honor, the late fees are $50 per month, and then there was and there were a few months where we didn't charge her late fees at all. So she was charged the NSF $25 fee, and she was only charged 4 late fees, even though she was late for October, November, December, January, February, March, and April, which is 7 months. She was only charged 4 late fees.
So just take off your combative hat.
I'm trying.
Okay, just take off your combative hat for a moment. And I'm not sure why they're not. Why does the co-op not accept partial payments when it's for non-payment of rent?
So, Your Honor, they have a policy of not accepting partial pay. So they have a large ownership and membership, and they don't accept partial payments because it's a board policy. I'm covering this case today. This is not my case. I can't get into the reason behind it. I'm not sure what the reason is, but they do have a policy against accepting partial payments because I think once people start to make partial payments, they feel like so here's the thing. If she had paid the 554, then she would have, if we'd accepted that, she would have been current on her carrying charges, but not the late fees and not the
Well, you
other
have the
fees.
right to come in and get a judgment for the remaining balance is my point.
I
I don't
understand, Your
go-
Honor. I'm covering this one, so I can't go into the reason that the board made this decision, why this is part of the rules and regulations. If you want a testimony on that on another day, I could certainly provide that.
Testimony, I just think it's okay. Okay, so sit back a second. What part of this do you disagree with? You gotta pay the late fees, you gotta pay the court costs. And I don't see any way how you don't know 40204 unless you can tell me, and you're gonna have to spell it out clearly, but just take off your angry hat for a second, okay?
So I want to take a step back. Back in October, right? They're saying back in October about the check fee, correct? I just received in March of this year, them addressing me. That's one issue.
Wait a minute, wait, slow down. What do you mean you just received in March them addressing?
They just sent me,
Well, did you have a bounce check in October or not?
I did,
Well,
but I didn't have late fees. There's more to
ma'am,
this.
ma'am, if you bounce a check, that's your fault.
Correct.
That's actually illegal to write a check with not insufficient funds in the account, particularly when you know that.
I didn't know.
Well,
that.
you can't write checks if you don't have the money in the bank.
Right.
So they had a check that bounced, and therefore, once that check bounced, you're accumulating late fee.
I have, well, let me back up and say, I requested them to send me the rules and regulations
Why are you fighting?
because I don't owe. I have.
You don't owe?
No.
You don't know the filing service and statutory attorney fee? You don't know late fees? Come on.
If I came to court for a jury trial, if I showed you what I have,
Good. You're gonna bring it next week. You're gonna bring everything, you're gonna get it all put together, and you're going to calculate for me. Right now, you're not winning.
I understand that, and I'm not a lawyer. but-
Well, I know, but if you bounced a check in October, who's at bigger fault? Them for not telling me you bounced a check until March?
I bounced.
Wait, you're interrupting. Who's more at fault? Them for not telling you or addressing the fact that you bounced a check in October until March? You not knowing that you bounced the check, or you writing the check when there were insufficient funds in the account?
The day that they notified me that the check was.
Doesn't matter. You bounced a check.
Right.
They're entitled to the NSF fees.
I'm not, well.
What part are you complaining about? I'm not sure what you're complaining about. You tell me exactly what you owe and exactly, you heard what she said.
Right, so.
Wait, I want you to listen to me. I want you to tell me what you owe exactly to the penny. That's a wonderful thing about math.
Yes.
It's not subject to interpretation. There's no lawyers advocating, well, that it should be more money or less money because no.
Okay, so.
Tell me exactly what you owe. That's the first thing I want to hear out of your mouth.
That everything to you, the $175 in late fees, they're saying that I owe.
They say you owe 225, and then she also said for 7 months you were late, and that is 350, and they're only charging 225.
This is all new to me, the paper that they served me, all this additional stuff, I can prove, I didn't get, this is being thrown at me. I contacted them. I said, I have recording, time, state, date to prove I paid this on time. They sent me a threatening email that they're gonna charge me with felony charges, that they're gonna add on charges, and I have proof I don't owe these. I have proof. So if you wanna know
What do you owe?
what I owe, out of the 175,
What do you mean out of the 175? You gotta tell me what you owe. She thinks you owe 956.04 less 544 that they're sitting there with the check that they haven't cashed. They think you owe 40204. They didn't say about 401 or about 600. I want you to tell me exactly what you owe.
So back in October, the resignation.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh,
I don't want to hear that right now, please.
I paid
Ma'am,
Do you want me to say?
So you think you owe zero?
Absolutely. And I can prove it.
Good. Here's what you're gonna do.
Oh.
You're gonna put this, first of all, I want to finish your rights. You did listen to and understood the rights, right? Right? Yes?
It's never right to a court trial.
Do you want to speak to a lawyer? Do you want to speak to a
Yes, I
lawyer?
do want.
Okay,
I just got this paperwork last week. I just got.
hang on. You're doing a lot of talking. We're gonna give you the number of Lakeshore. You can call them. I don't know if they've cut back funding. They used to show up here every week. You're welcome to call and speak to them. You're welcome to hire your own lawyer. You are welcome to hire your own lawyer. You are welcome to apply for funding if you don't have the money.
Oh, I don't, I'm laid off.
I want to know, first of all, I want to tell you, I think you guys are wrong for not taking that. You can tell your board that. I don't know why they're making up such a rule. I really don't. Not on non-payment of rent cases, but you're going to outline both.
Trust me.
Let me finish, man. You told me a minute ago you owed 175. Did you not say you owed 170?
No, they're saying I owe 170.
No, they're not. They're saying you owe 40204 plus they haven't cashed the $544 check. Are you calculating when you calculate all this, the filing fee, the service fee, the statutory attorney fee, and the NSF fee? I just have a feeling you guys are going to end up back at square one.
This is what they sent me for today.
What's
So
this? I don't know what this is.
What they're suing for me. They're adding stuff on today that I've never heard of. So you're asking me and they're coming at me with stuff that I wasn't even aware of.
Well, they're entitled to.
Well, they're adding on charges that are not. even-
They said rent is paid through February 28th on the complaint.
I paid March and I paid April. They won't take it because of the late fees they're trying to add. I don't owe late fees. I called them. I offered their attorney proof for that. They won't talk to me. They won't email me. They've been harassing me. I went to the board last year and.
Hang on. Did she pay March and April that you didn't cash?
Just give me a second, Your Honor. So she made a payment in March of $552. I'm happy to have, I can let the board know that they should apply the $554 payment. We can do that. And so that leaves the amount that we discussed. And again, it's just the
Pay
court
for April.
costs.
Did she pay for April?
It looks like she submitted a money order for April. That was the one that has not been applied yet, but I can have them apply that.
Was the one applied for March?
Looks like there was a payment applied for March.
But if you read the emails from them, the harassing me and threatening me, honestly, if you've seen everything that I have, the last 2 years, I've had to refuse phone calls and take emails because they wouldn't even email me. I just received last summer the name of the management company they would not give me, which I have emails documenting. I have a perfect record, I used to work for Trenton Schools, I managed the JV hockey team. I have a son home from Iraq who's in Detroit Cop. I have another son in the Marines that's about to be deployed. I requested in the email to them, please certify mail because at any moment when my son gets his orders to deploy, I haven't seen him since last year. They refuse to do that. They want to catch me when I'm not home. Last week, I just got this in the mail. I work midnights. I've been gone to see my son and they know this. I would have never known about this court date today. I've asked, please just communicate with me. I have several phone calls, emails. They will not.
Slow down. Why is somebody filing a complaint dated March the 31st saying that rent was paid only through February 28th? If you're telling me they applied the rental payment for March.
So, Your Honor, when a payment is made, it's applied to the earliest balance. So when 552 is made for March, she still owed a partial balance for February. So she didn't pay all the way. So
Stop, ma'am. You're in a courtroom now. You got to stop interrupting. Let her finish. Go ahead.
So Your Honor, when a payment is applied to a ledger, the payment goes to the earliest charges first. So the earliest charges would be the NSF charges, the late fee charges. So she still did owe partial for March, and she was not paid in full through March when we filed this case because of these other charges. And
You're
that's why.
saying even after applying the March rent, she had rent due of only 175, correct?
So 175. So yes, Your Honor. So 175 plus the 50 is the 225 that we're alleging is remaining owing right now, less the 554.
Say that again.
So the 175 plus the 50 is the 225. Right now, all she owes after the 554 is applied is the 225, which is the late fees, which is essentially the late fees and that NSF fee, plus the
What's the NSF
179.04.
fee again?
It was only $25, Your Honor.
Okay.
So what she owes is
I have a
NSF.
feeling that you're so wrong on this, man, but I'm going to keep an open mind. You want to put everything together? No, but listen to me. You bounced a check.
And I
Ma'am,
understand.
let me finish. You bounced a check, and that clearly, when you bounced the check, triggered all these other events. It triggered them charging late fees for 5 months.
And I had no idea until March.
That was your fault. Why do you blame them that you bounced a check? That you wrote? You keep. Listen to me. I want to listen, but you keep interrupting me. It's their fault you bounced a check.
No.
It's their fault your bank did, ma'am.
I'll just.
Ma'am. No, you won't. We're going to handle this as I want.
Well, whatever you want to do. I don't know what you want.
I want you to stop interrupting me. That's what I want. I don't know why you're blaming them that you bounced a check and they didn't notify you for 5 months. You should have known that the money wasn't in your account when you wrote the check. That's number one. Number two, your bank would have notified you. I don't know why they didn't. Go call them. Number three, when you bounced the check that caused all these other payments to be applied to October, that's why you've got the late fees. I mean, this is pretty clear with me. I don't know why it isn't you. I don't know why it isn't clear with you. That's what's happened. When you bounced the check in October, they didn't say, well, you paid November on time, you paid December on time, you paid January on time, you paid February. No, they were applying those fees to October. Now, I'm going to give you a chance. You want to put everything down, but tell me every copy of every check that you wrote and when you wrote it. Okay? I have a feeling that they're right and you're not, but I'm going to give you an opportunity.
Am I able to request something?
Yeah, if you don't interrupt me, yes. Go ahead.
I emailed and asked for information from them.
What?
I wanted my file. I moved in there in 2019. And I asked also, if they would send me, I have the email, but they won't send me copies of anything I've asked for.
Well, they're entitled to charge a reasonable copying fee.
I mean, they didn't even say that. I asked if they would email. I have the emails, they won't. I had to go to the board last August.
Ms. Shawn,
Shelley,
do you have, do they have any policy on copying? It should be a reasonable copy fee.
this,
Ma'am, I was just talking to her. Did you not see?
you said Shelley? I didn't even.
Well, I didn't say Shelley. No, I said Ms. Shawn, I think. It was
You did,
clear. I
right.
was looking at her. Do they have some kind of policy with regard to copying?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I'm covering this one today for my friend. But I can certainly find out. Is there something that she needs? And perhaps I
Wants
can.
everything since
provide it to her.
19. How many pages do you think that would be, Ms. Moore?
Well, I wanted to know, one, if I had any
I
violations.
didn't ask you that.
Okay.
How many pages do you think that would be?
2 pages.
2?
2 pages.
Oh.
3 maybe?
Okay.
Documents.
Since 2019?
Yeah, because I can I tell you what I asked?
Yeah.
I asked for my file. I want to see if there are any violations because I shouldn't have any.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? Why does any violations have to do with anything? They're not terminating the tenancy for cause here.
Yeah, they're trying to evict me.
No, they're trying to evict you because you haven't paid the rent. So that is not really relevant. Whether or not you've had a violation, if you're talking about some rule violation of the co-op, I don't see anything in here. Did they allege that you that you violated rules?
In the email, that's why I.
Well, that's not the subject of this suit.
I can request, from 2019, my payments, because I have discrepancies on dates. So I don't know if they can give me a copy of that. And then also I wanted a copy of the pest control, and I've been asking that for over a year.
Pest control.
We have a cockroach infestation and a mice infestation, and this is why they've been targeting me, because I've been speaking out about it.
Is that true, Ms. Schoen? Has she been making complaints about that?
Your Honor, I'm covering this case today.
So whose case is this?
I'm not aware. This is Pentiak, the Pentiak firm. She's asking questions that don't have anything to do with this case. If this were a termination case, I would have all of the answers for all of the background for the termination. If you'd like me to look into whether there's
I'd like you to send the lawyer that's in charge that represents Southwick next time. If they're claiming, if they're targeting her on this, and that's what she's alleging at least, I'm not saying that they are or not. I want some answers here. But in order to tell me, ma'am, that you owe X amount of dollars or don't owe anything, and I hope you're at least keeping an objective mind here.
I am, it does look bad.
If you missed a payment in October, that means you should have been paying late fees for October, November, December, January, February, March, and April. Now, if they're refusing to cash your check and then charging a late fee, but that doesn't appear to be the case. It appears as though you were late. Even after they applied the March one, you still owed $175. And if you owed $175 plus $225 in late fees, that's $400 plus $25 in an NSF fee. If anything, they might be shorting themselves.
Can I speak for you earlier?
No, I want you to just calm down. Yes, Ms. Schoen.
Your Honor, so I think what would be helpful from my perspective would be to have the client appear. So I routinely do coverage work, sort of counsel work for this firm. So we could, if we have the client appear, they could respond directly. Having an attorney appear doesn't mean they're going to know all of the claims.
Why don't you do that? We'll adjourn in a week. What time do you have for me, Jen?
We can do 10:30, Your Honor.
April 27th?
Yes.
Defendant to bring complete breakdown.
What date is that? What day is that?
A week from today?
Oh, Monday?
Yeah. The defendant to bring complete breakdown of payments made / why she doesn't owe money. Please just don't come in here and say they're harassing you and there's an issue with pest control. Come in here and give me a sheet. These are the dates that I've made my payments. These are the dates that the charges are due. This is why I don't owe the late fees. You can file a little brief.
Am I able to submit video too?
About what?
I have proof. I videoed me making my payment, because all we have is a Dropbox. So they can say whatever date they want on here, and I have proof, timestamp, dated, and recording of every month.
Well, you guys are really going out there, huh?
Because you don't know what I've been going through. You don't know what I've been going through. You think I want to be here? No.
Your Honor, may I?
Yeah, Ms.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I have a 10 o'clock and two 11 o'clocks on that day. Is it 8:30 possible, or 9 o'clock perhaps?
I'll do 8:30. It's going to be easier for her too, because she works midnights, right?
Okay. Okay, so 8:30 a.m. And Your Honor, if I have a client with me, is it okay if I appear, or do you need, because the attorneys at the firm, it's really the client who would have this information, not the attorneys.
I don't care who appears, honestly. I just need some hard
We'll have the client
facts.
appear. Thank you.
That's fine. You can appear. So I need you to, and I have a feeling, and I don't know how to explain myself other than to say that you I don't need to see videos. If you think there's a discrepancy on late fees because they're saying they didn't get it till the 12th and you paid it on the 8th, I'll be glad to look at your video. Have video you could just put in parentheses. And then if I need to see if they're telling me, Judge, we assessed a late fee because we didn't receive a payment till the 12th, and you're telling me I have a video here that shows that you paid it on the 8th, sir, then that's fine. But I don't need to see videos.
I'm sorry, can I ask one?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
So you're going to tell me exactly to the penny why you don't owe any money. Okay.
I did have one question. So I just want to ask you, so in in October, on the 31st, they put something in my mailbox or in my door stating about a bounce check. So on October 31st, that same day, which was Halloween, I went and got another form of payment and paid October.
I thought you told me that you didn't receive anything from them telling you about the bounce check until March.
Fines. They didn't send me anything on how much I owed them. They sent saying my check didn't go through.
They sent that to you when?
October 31st.
I thought you told me earlier. I'm going to go back and listen to this tape. Wait. I thought you told me that they didn't send you anything until March to tell you that you bounced a check in October. You didn't say that?
Fees. When they sent.
No.
Fees.
Wait.
They weren't charging me nothing.
Wait a minute. I thought you told me they didn't notify you about the bounce check until March. Am I wrong?
The bounce check fees until March, which I have. Because October 31st, they put something in my door.
Saying that you bounced your check.
So I went and ran and.
So you realize October rent would have been late when you put that in there October 31, right?
I'm sorry, October 31st,
I think that's what you said. You said you went and paid it right away, right?
for the second time, because the first one, they just knew.
No, you didn't pay it for the second time. You paid it for the first time because the first check bounced.
Correct. So October 31st.
Then when did you make your November payment?
They're all in time. November on time, December on time.
Okay, you're gonna write down every date that you gave me, that you made your payments. I'd like to get this by Thursday. Can you prepare this by Thursday?
Because I have to work tonight and then.
I don't need to know when you have to work. Can you do this by Thursday? Yes or no?
Yes, I'll have it to you before then.
Okay, take your time. I want it done well.
Can I?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, am I able to give you everything that I have? Or
We're here to talk about non-payment. That's what we're here for. That's why they sued you. They didn't sue you because you violated a law or a regulation or rule of the co-op. They're not asking me to terminate tenancy. All they're saying is, Judge, make her pay up. And if she doesn't, we want an order for an eviction after 10 days from the date of the judgment. That's what they're going to ask me to do. But the pest stuff, I don't need to hear about right now. I have a feeling you guys are so close on this.
And then you go to, how to sue them, the right
Do-
to you.
Do whatever you want. You got to follow the court rules. I'd strongly suggest that you talk to a lawyer. Talk to Lakeshore. Explain the whole situation to them. I'm not going to give you advice here. I would call them today. We will give you their phone number today. Okay? And then you can talk to them and you can follow the court rules and you can do whatever you need to do. But this is for non-payment of rent, which is a lot different than some of the things you're talking about.
Well, I was confused because I paid rent every month, and when I emailed
You
them,
didn't pay rent every month. You didn't pay.
the late.
I'm just surprised you're now telling me that you didn't know about the bounce check until March, but paid it October 31 because then they notified you, but didn't notify you about the $25 NSF fee.
So October 31st, it stated my check bounced So I ran and got a money order. There was no fees in that, nothing. 5 months later, I'm receiving,
Well, if you paid November 1, December, January, February, March, April 1, then they shouldn't have been charging you any late fees, assuming in big letters, that your balance as of October 31 was zero. They're not taking that NSF fee, council. Let me just be clear about this. They're not taking that NSF fee of $25 and proceeding to charge her with late fees the whole time on every month because she owed $25, are they?
So she owed $25 for let me just look at the ledger for a moment, Your Honor. So she owed the 25 for the NSF fee. She also owed a late fee for October. She didn't pay the NSF fee or the late fee for October. And then she made a series of other payments
When did she make her November payment?
November payment was made on the 8th.
That's within the time frame for the late fees, right?
It is. And then
when did she make her December payment?
the 10th.
That's before, I think it says the late fees don't
Goes
kick
through
in
the
until the
10th.
11th,
I believe
right?
yes, I believe it's the 10th. And then
What about January?
January was the 10th, February was the 10th, March was the 13th, I believe.
So you would have owed late fees for
And
March.
it was paid on time.
Well, it's not really paid on time. It's paid within the late.
I paid that before. That's not the right date. That's
Okay.
March.
No, I know, but your rent's due the 1st. You've got a habit of paying it on the 10th. Why? That's your question, but go ahead.
so, Your Honor, I think she first said that she was not notified about the insufficient funds check until March.
No,
She's now changed
Yeah.
the story and
but
now
what she's saying is
acknowledged
that
that
on
she was.
October 31, and I get it now, she wasn't notified there was an NSF check fee.
So the ledger is available at any time. She can walk into the office and get a copy of her ledger.
Here's my
The
point.
NSF.
Here's my point. Why don't you call up? There's something that's not sitting right with me. Can you get your client to zoom in now?
I can't get them to zoom in now, no. But I can. But if we come back on the
Why can't they zoom in
27th
now?
at 8:30.
Why can't they zoom in now? Because I want you to make this clear to them. If they didn't notify her of the the $25 late fee, then she, according to what you're telling me, I think, was up to date by the end of October. In other words,
She still had a
She'll-
late fee as well
from what?
from
October.
October, Your Honor, because she bounced the check, so she had a late fee from October plus that fee.
Okay. And she never paid for the late fee
No,
well,
no, she
listen,
didn't.
listen. This is like, so she owed a $50 late fee, and now you guys are tagging her, as far as I can see, for a late fee for November, December, January, February, March. Another late fee could have been added in March. And then you're holding her money for April and charging a late fee there, right?
No, so Your Honor, we only charged her 4 late fees, even though they were entitled to receive 7 late fees. She was late for October, November, December, January, February, March, and April, since she never paid the NSF fee or the late fee. So they only charged her 4 late fees instead of the 7 that they
Is
were
this
entitled
really
to
why
do.
we're still here? You owe some late fees, young lady, Miss Moore. You owe some late fees, okay? But I'm not going to let you compound because she owed a $50 late fee and a $25 NSF fee. I'm not going to let you charge her.
Would the court
I
like to
see
make a
what's
ruling
happened
today?
now. Now I see what's happened. What's that?
I'm just wondering if you'd like to make a ruling today, Your Honor, if you've come to a conclusion about how you'd like to rule, or if you want us to come back on the 27th.
you want an opportunity to file a counterclaim? Do you want an opportunity to put together your figures? Listen carefully. Please listen carefully before you make your decision. I'm not going to require you to do anything. Just listen carefully. If you didn't pay your October payment until October 31, you owed a late fee. I now see the problem. You owed a late, so let's forget about the NSF fee for a second. You bounced a check. So you owed $50 in late fees in October, November, if they're supposed to compound, if it's reasonable for them to compound, because you owed the $50 late fee for October in November, December, January, February, March, and April. So that's 7 months. They charged, how much is the late fees? 50?
50, Your Honor, yes.
And you told me that you had late fees of $225 because that includes the NSF fee, right?
Yes, we have 4 late fees of 50, Your Honor, plus the 25. And that's
Clearly,
essentially
they're-
half of the
I
late
know.
fees that they were entitled to charge.
I know, but that's, you know what, that's a little over the top, don't you think? Let me tell you this. You want to file a counterclaim, talk to a lawyer, I'll give you a week. It seems to what should happen here is you still have to pay the $179.04 in court costs. And you still have to pay the $25 NSF fee for a total of $204.04. You want to go talk to a lawyer, you want to file a counterclaim, do all that, that's up to you. But I can, if you want, rule on the number of late fees that I think is reasonable in the face of this. And go from there and enter a judgment today, whatever you want.
Can I just say one thing? I sent them an email, I got laid off. And I sent them an email saying I'm getting laid off. Can you waive, any,
Man, they don't have to do that.
No, you're right. What I'm saying is I was trying to communicate with them, but they won't communicate with me.
Well, I'm going to communicate for you. I'm going to make a rule.
Can I come back?
You can do whatever you want. This is the United States of America, the greatest judicial branch anywhere in the world. You want to come back? You want to fight with them? That's okay. That's okay. Because I don't like a couple of things they did either. I don't like them telling people they can't make partial payments. I don't know where people come up with that. There's nothing in the law that says you can't make a partial payment on a non-payment of rent case. So for boards to take action different than that, I have a fundamental issue with. But you were wrong too, and you don't think you did anything wrong, and that's problematic too.
They sent an email stating that they give, the first time you bounce a check, they'll waive it, right?
Ma'am,
I'm just saying they sent an email to me, so this is the first time I bounced a check since living here since 2019. And like I said,
never bounce a check.
you're right. One time since.
Ma'am? Okay, let's stop because I've held this up enough. These lawyers are probably upset with me and they have every reason to be because I've been on this case for half an hour now. If you want me to make a ruling today, I will do so. If you want to go talk to a lawyer and file counterclaims and do all these other fun things, that's up to you. AI is not always. I will. I know people get pleadings off of AI, they have AI help them and whatever, but you still got to think on your feet and you got to know what you're saying. But whatever you want. You want me to adjourn it? I'll adjourn it. Is that what you want? Okay. But you get what I'm saying? So you disagree with anything that she said in terms of when you made your payments?
All my payments have been made on time.
No, they haven't. Not one of them. Not one of them.
Correct, not October.
Not one of them were made on time. What time's the date say that you have to make your payment, counsel?
They're due on the 1st, Your Honor. I believe they're late on the 10th.
Right.
So at the end of the 10th.
I think the 11th, right?
Yes. So they're
So you're not making them on time.
So-
You're making them in accordance with contract to avoid late fees. Please don't leave here thinking your payments are on time. You wouldn't pay your mortgage company 10 days late, would you? Not unless you want a 312 credit rating,
They said it's not late.
ma'am.
It's paid by the 10th. I'm confused, so I don't know. what
Well,
you said.
it's pretty clear. The contract reads you're to make your payment by the 1st. You're making them by the 10th
Okay,
because the late fees kick in on the 11th. Doesn't mean you're on time.
but I don't get no late.
Doesn't mean you're on time, though. You're saying you made all your payments on time. You didn't make one of them on time.
Well, there shouldn't. be-
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, but I don't understand.
Okay, well, let me do a better job of explaining.
Due date.
The contract says your payment's due on the 1st. If you make them on the 10th, you might not have to pay late fees, but it's still late. Do you get that? Listen, yes or no?
I'm trying to read what's in here with the contract that they, with.
Ma'am, does the lease say, we know it's not late until the 11th. I've said that 4 times. We know that. It doesn't mean it's timely if you pay it on the 10th. It means you can't be assessed a late fee. But she just explained clearly to me how you accumulated these late fees. Do I agree that because somebody's late or somebody didn't pay $50 that they should be able to accumulate a bunch of late fees? No. But you bounced the check, you caused this, I'll let you go take care of it. You can write everything down. We're going to come to the same conclusion. I know I am.
You know that.
Ma'am, I don't need to hear anymore. I know you didn't have to pay late fees because you paid on the 10th. Don't leave here thinking that you pay on time. You don't pay on time. You've never paid on time, according to what she told me.
I have proof I have before the 10th. That's what I mean.
No, on the 1st, you have proof that you come in here and you prove that any of these payments you're telling me weren't put in on the 10th. If you could prove to me that they were paid by the 1st of the month, in which case you were on time, or earlier than the 1st, in which case you were on time. But let's not debate this. April 20th, April 27th, 8:30, you can bring me in something, you can show me. I'd like your client here. I know I'm going to reach the same conclusion, but go consider your counterclaim, talk to the lawyer, figure out what you want to do, and go from there. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Just have one more.
Yeah, I'd rather have you here. Honestly, I'd rather have everybody here if you want my honest opinion, but
In the end, the hearing was no longer just about one bounced check. It became a larger fight over how quickly fees and added costs can pile up once a tenant falls behind. The court made clear that the original mistake mattered, but so did the question of whether the charges had snowballed into something much bigger than the debt itself. Cases like this leave tenants and landlords in the same uneasy place, one side demanding accountability, the other questioning whether the numbers still reflect fairness. And if you enjoyed watching this case unfold, subscribe and leave a like.